Hey you guys, what's up? And yes, I am back with another video, and of course the title is the inability to control your emotions. And I wanted to talk about this because I feel like it's one of the many toxic prevalent things that we not only see online but in real life, and how it's so important, it's so necessary to control your emotions and your reactions to people, things, and situations. And in turn, when you do that, it actually gives you more power in the situation, the circumstance, the conflict, or whatever it is you're facing. And also how, unfortunately, online we see a lot of instability of emotions and just like the roller coaster and everything. And also, of course, I mean, I know I have not practiced the best emotional control online or even displayed the best examples of it before, because obviously I've spoken about this in past videos, but you know, being an open book online and just being very open, but also sensitive, and also just being a very emotional person, I obviously, like, I have failed to figure out where the lines cross, and I have blurred the lines before as well. But over time, it has served me well to not overly react, to not give things too much energy. And the thing about that too, not only does it give you more power in situations, but you feel so much better because you're not investing the emotional energy. You're not exhausting yourself. You're not giving the care, the attention, or the energy to it. And do remember in the video where I mentioned the Tony Robbins quote, where focus goes, energy flows. And that is so true as well. So this is going to be like an all-inclusive video, because everything, you know, ties into one. Now, if you want to watch some additional videos about, you know, controlling your emotions, I love Dylan James. Now, he is a manifestation coach, and he does, I think he also considers himself a lifestyle coach, but he does affirmations. This is not my first time mentioning him on my channel. I love his videos. And depending on, you know, whatever kind of place you're in, whether you're in a really low place or you're just trying to feel better, or maybe you're just trying to get through the day, I love his affirmation tapes. I took inspiration from him and I put an affirmation up on my channel in my own style. And I probably will bring affirmations back or whatever. I just need to make a playlist or something for them. But definitely, I love Dylan James so much. His content is so helpful. It's like a breath of fresh air coming across it. And not only does he do like affirmation videos and manifestation videos, but he does do like talk through live streams and videos. And if you join his memberships, there's even more there, to where he can really walk you through stabilizing your nervous system and not overly giving yourself or exhausting yourself when it comes to any circumstance or any situation. Like, one of the things that he says on his channel that is like the most prevalent is the circumstances don't matter. And I know that if you hear that phrase and it hits your ear, it probably sounds like, oh, are you telling me that I don't matter? Like, what do you mean? Like, I feel away. It's like, no. It's like, whatever you're worried about, it doesn't matter, and it's not worth you depleting yourself over. And when you start looking at situations like that with that kind of a perspective, I promise, like, life gets so much better. So yes, Dylan James. And of course, Shira. Like, y'all know, like, it's so crazy how I found out about her last summer. And I try to catch her live stream. She's way more sporadic now with her schedule. I know she's done like a couple of like brand deals and everything. So she's just really off, like doing her thing, just being fierce. Like, I live. But she talks about controlling your emotions. Now, of course, she talks about dating and, you know, how to govern yourself when dealing with men, and definitely controlling your emotions so they don't have control over you, which is another very important important factor to consider, because that's another thing. If you demonstrate that you're highly emotional and you're highly dysregulated, you do open yourself up to be preyed upon, which unfortunately, when you are a highly emotional person and you are highly reactionary, it's gonna be blinded. It's like walking around with blinders on, because you're already emotionally dysregulated and there's always so much going on, mentally, emotionally, internally. And until you achieve that balance, it's so hard to see what's going on around you, who you have around you, what you have around you, why. It's a very slippery slope. And sometimes you have to really be careful, because what you don't want to do is open yourself up to be preyed upon by sick, gross people who are just waiting to get those kind of toxic reactions and things out of you. So Shira is another one who's made several videos. In fact, I'll try to link one, because I literally, when I was prepping to like record this or whatever, I was looking through her videos and I saw one of the streams I watched like way back or whatever that was about controlling your emotions and controlling your reactions to stuff. Now, another person that does really well with demonstrating this and, kind of giving some education on this. I know people have mixed feelings about her. I personally don't care. You guys know I really appreciate Cluster B. Milkshake, I do. I am definitely a supporter and fan of Sarah's. She is a diagnosed narcissist, and she was operating in self-aware for the longest time on her channel, and she still is, and she's still going through her processes. And I appreciate the fact that despite all of her diagnoses, like, she's still continuing to better herself despite all the ups and downs. The only thing is, I do know that her delivery can be a bit brash, and we all know how overly sensitive the internet is and how people take so many things personally when they really shouldn't. And I just, y'all know I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Like, I don't. In fact, I enjoy Cluster B Milkshake's brash delivery, because I'd rather you give it to me raw and honest and just like, brutal, if that's who you are and what you are, than like sugarcoat it and try to be fake and not even be clear with your message, right? Like, I can't relate. So I do like the way Cluster B talks about it. Now, of course, she is coming from a more narcissistic perspective. I do appreciate how she tries to adjust her content for those that aren't NPD and don't have, that kind of a perspective. But because she's coming from, her narcissistic perspective, she's like, F their feelings, She's like, and why would I give them power over me anyway? Like, they don't even deserve, like, it's just the way she says stuff is really funny. But she also still has a point, so I value those. So those three creators will be in my description, since I mentioned them, because all of their content has been very helpful. All of their content at some way, shape, or form has helped me along the way, in addition to so many other things. And I also recommend, if you want to really work on controlling your emotions and your reactions, I've mentioned this book before, you need to read The 48 Laws of Power. I know that book is controversial. Some people were like, well, this book is about manipulating people. Well, it depends on your perspective on that, because it's really talking more about controlling and taking the power back in your social and situations and conflicts and dynamics. And so you do know that when you change, the people around you change, your whole crowd will change, your relationships change, your interpersonal relationships change, and things can either change for the better or for the worse depending on how you govern yourself, right? So I never saw that book as manipulation. And of course, this is like reviews from the internet we're talking about. And I understand that people were just overly offended, overly sensitive. I honestly feel like people would just be looking for something to complain and dislike and crap on, because unfortunately that's the way of our online world nowadays, which I think is really gross and I think it's really sad, but it's the truth. But the 48 Laws of Power is an amazing book. It will have you reflect. It will have you looking at people and things and like, dang, how come I didn't see this before? And it's like, oh, I didn't even realize that if I, move this way, if I do this, that I probably won't even have to be dealing with this person's hostile energy towards me. I love it. So yes, so those three creators, the 48 Laws of Power, let me know where you're at if you are even into that. But I just want to talk about the importance of controlling your emotions, and I want to start by setting some real examples. And they're unfortunate examples, but they're true. So I know that, and I'm going to use myself as the first example because of my channel, but I know that I have not practiced the best emotional discipline or reaction on this channel. And I know I've mentioned before how I am no longer a part of that toxic reaction community. And that's the thing, right? It was a reaction community. Now, I don't know why I didn't consider this a possibility. I don't know why some things I literally didn't even see coming, but there are people in that community who like to stir the pot, who like to do things to get a reaction, literally, out of the reactors. It's like that community's trolls loves getting over the top reactions from reactors. It's like their way of getting giggles. You might see that in other reaction communities, but some communities are just so large, and some chats are just so large to where those type of trolls go unnoticed. But yeah, a lot of people will put a lot of effort into trying to get a rise out of you. And honestly, it happens online in real life all the time. And the thing is, you have to be able to see through it. Now, it's one thing if you're not able, and if you are ignorant and you just don't know any better. And that's when you have to, take a step back and forgive yourself, right? But the trap that you fall into, if you explode online, right? I even said in a recent video that I posted that I'm done doing drama content, right? I'm done doing the receipts and the BS and blasting people because it doesn't serve me. It doesn't interest me. It does me more of a disservice. And I understand that it attracts the wrong kind of people. Well, also too, when you do that, you have now pretty much drawn a target on your back. While you may be highly emotional, right? And let's say you're mad, right? Because I've been on this platform, I've been pissed before, right? Let's say you're mad, right? And let's say you are defending yourself out of that anger, right? You feel justified. You're like, you know what? I'm pissed. I'm defending myself. I'm angry. I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna drop all the receipts. I'm gonna pop off. Cool. If that's what you want to do. This is the part that these are the things that I had to experience for myself, the dark, ugly side of, to learn and to know better, and to honestly just go and grasp the knowledge as to, how to grow out of certain things, right? Being on the internet is much different, right, than in real life. You might blast somebody in real life. You might confront somebody in real life. And if you're the type of person to where if you've had to confront people in real life and that squashes it because they see that you're not playing, you might not be used to giving that same energy online, right? Because the thing is, some people know no bounds. Some people don't even care about your boundaries. Some people will enjoy making you that angry, that upset, because the target that you just put on your back is that, oh, hey, we can do it again. We can get away with it again. Oh, I can do it again. Oh, you're that angry? You're that upset? Oh, I'm going to do this. Give me more reaction. Give me more of your energy. Give me more of this toxic back and forth. Oh, wow, I make you that angry? Wow, you dropped that many receipts on me? Wow, you wrote these long, community tab posts or threads about me. Wow, 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 wow. People with a toxic mindset will thrive on that. And that is something that Cluster B Milkshake mentions, how she's like, if she gets that kind of a reaction out of somebody, it makes her feel important, right? Because she's like, well, because she says, negative and positive attention is still attention. She's like, so if I got somebody that worked up, I must be very important to them. And mind you, like, she's a narcissist, right? So anybody who's been in a narcissistically abusive relationship or maybe dealt with like narcissistic people, right? Something that you might not be aware of is the negative reinforcement that people may get from you defending yourself, your upset, whatever your actions are. And I know it's kind of backwards, right? It's literally like opposite day. It's like you have to like take your brain back. It's like, okay, all right, like, because it's a warped perspective, but there are people out there like this, right? And so when you are public and online, and granted, we all have a right to defend ourselves, okay? And this is not saying that people's feelings aren't valid. However, there is a time and the place, and the internet is just not the place. It can't be the place. It's not structured to be the place. It is and always will be the wrong place, right? It's unfortunate and it's the way of the world, but it's the truth. And oh my goodness. Well, you guys just excuse that. I'll try to edit that out, but I think I was like speaking over it, whatever. Seriously though, the internet is not the place to vent your grievances with anyone, especially in a hostile way. The only way I feel to deal with the internet is to just honestly be in a very neutral stance, but to never give. And this is why I talk about, detaching from the audience and all this stuff, because the only thing that matters is like the creator, the person posting the content, and how people receive the message, right? That's it. That's at the end of the day, that's it. That it's content. It's something you enjoy in your pastime. That's it, right? It should not go further than that. Unfortunately, things do, and everybody has to learn their lessons the way they do, but come post and move forward, right? The only way I think to set boundaries online is to do it from a very calm stance. There is no need to go into overly too many details about anything or anyone, for the simple fact that no one deserves those details and those ins and outs. The general audience, the general public, does not deserve the ins and outs of it. They don't. If they want to speculate, whatever, because that's what people do, let them do it. People do it every day. It's just how things are. I don't even agree with much speculation because it's impossible to really know what's going on behind closed doors of someone you never met, right? To me, that's common sense. But you have to be careful with being unable to control your emotions, especially as a public person. And like I said before, whether you're coming from an honest place or a defensive place, and you're telling the truth, people don't care. And they don't value you as a person. They don't care to hear you or see you in pain. And also, think about it. I am not the only person to demonstrate an example of this, right? I definitely won't be the last because, internet, is forever. And there are going to be generations upon generations coming on and learning their lessons online. And, the world turns, right? But think about it. Every time someone has had an emotional blow up online, when has it worked in their favor? Cardi B, as much as it broke my heart, especially because you could hear the pain in her voice over the holidays too, of all things. when she went off about Offset. I'll try to play a clip if I can find it.
I'm crazy that I gotta go to the fucking internet because whenever I tell you something, you don't take shit seriously. And I'm so tired of it.
When she went off about Offset and she was breaking down. Now, of course, I hope that she eventually, you know, found her friends and family, the people who she should have been talking to the entire time. But because Cardi B has developed such a close parasocial relationship with her audience, bro, since she was on Instagram, like before even loving hip hop, and that's why, like, I know I've made my videos on Cardi B. I will always like I love her and I love her music, but I will always have a soft spot for her, despite some of her behaviors, because I understand. But the thing is, she has to break her own cycle, and sometimes people break it, sometimes people don't. And it's like, I get it. I get where she was coming from when she posted that video. However, I remember, and it's so messed up because like it was the holidays, right? Like I'm with my sweetie and I'm with fam. And like the video, like, you know, I'm talking about it and we're all like, yeah, did you see that? And I'm like, honestly, like the whole time, like I felt like I shouldn't be even looking at this. Like this was not for me. Like there was nothing in that would make me support her more or support her less. It just made me ache for her. And unfortunately, we all know what followed: the drama videos. Cardi B and Offset divorce. No. Cardi B mental breakdown on live. 5150 Cardi B. She need a 5150. The mental health. Oh, she got kids. People were trying to say, oh, she yelling like that with the kids in the house, call CPS. Yes, girl. Like people were saying that. Here comes the slew of BS from being too open, too vulnerable, and having that lack of self-control online. Now, a good question to ask is it deserved? I am in the middle because I actually understand both sides. I understand wanting to be heard in the moment, whether you're hurt, going through it, sad, or even you got to be careful even sharing happy news online because everybody's not happy for you. And even that needs emotional control and regulation because you cannot be that accessible. And I know it's sad, but it's the truth. It's a shame the type of people you open up yourself to online. It's the entire internet. But I do understand both sides of the person who's just trying to be heard, just trying to, you know, use their voice. They're you know, honest. They're telling the truth. They feel like they're, you know, trying to get justice in some way, shape, or form, right? But the people who have ill intent, you will never be able to estimate just how many are just lying in wait in the audience to make a spectacle out of you. Even if it's nothing. And I've seen it too. I mean, when I did the hard pivot with my channel, literally hard pivot, literally left the community about a year ago. And still to this day, I post the slightest thing. Oh, time to react. Time to, yeah, I bet you she gonna be going off. And it's like, wow, I don't know how many times I have to say the same thing, but that's when you just let people just do them, and you just let folks live in their own delusion or whatever it is. And that's when you focus on yourself, because you as a creator, as a soul person, you cannot and you will never control the masses, which is exactly why the masses do not deserve that intimate access to you via your emotions. If you learn to govern your emotions and your reactions to situations, people, and conflicts, or whatever it is on the internet, you will be a much better person for it, because you won't allow these sick, toxic people to penetrate you or your energy. No access means no access. Now, the other side of this is, let's say, you deliver some pretty firm standpoints, right? And other people lack the emotional regulation and control to handle your message to them, whether you're setting a boundary, whether you're, leaving an entire community, whether you're, severing ties, whether you're, whatever it is. Let's say that when you do that, the folks that you're separating yourself from have such an emotional reaction and breakdown to where they feel the need to do like 18 million streams. They're going to stream about you every single day. They're going to stream about you twice a day. Not only are they going to stream about you every single day, they're going to stream about you twice a day. They're going to tweet about you all day. They're going to go on the community tab. They're going to write the book. They're going to make shorts or TikToks of you. They're going to go on Twitter and literally almost get their account suspended because they're talking about you so much. That's not your problem. That's their emotional instability. That's them being overly reactionary. That's them being unstable. And I wish that I could have gained this perspective, but I told you all so many times, I literally needed to take the step back and really figure out where exactly I wanted to, go with my channel. After really just, settling down, back home and just doing my thing, right? And vibing. I literally, I wish I would have had this perspective, because it would have made me not only see people more for what and who they are clearer, but it would have made me be able to hard ignore people a lot easier, just realizing oh, you know what, their instability is not a reflection of me actually. And to give myself more power in situations, because it's really crazy, right? This is the same mindset and the same perspective of, this is how we raise our children. This is how we're raised. When someone's coming at you all crazy, right? And if you sit there blank face and you're blank staring and you're not feeding into that conversation, a person cannot argue with themselves. Let them look stupid on their own. Let them look dumb on their own. You don't need to respond. You don't need to retaliate. You don't need to do anything, because they look foolish enough for acting that dumb after you said something simple, or you simply said, deuces, or whatever it is, or you said, I don't like the color of your shirt, or whatever it is, and we see that too in society. How many times have we seen, celebrities or even random people online go off, and this is how world star videos, get filmed or whatever. Somebody, disrespects somebody's shoes. I don't like your shoes. I don't like your car. I don't like the way you do this. No. And then the person has a crazy reaction to where they want to get violent. And the next thing you know, people aren't even thinking about the person that made the comment about the shoes or whatever it was. They focus on the person's violence, because they escalated and they look a whole fool. And the whatever point that was in the beginning, it's now nonsensical because it escalated to that point. You have to be willing to let people look dumb on their own. And over time, especially with, severing online relationships and, distancing myself from communities and things like that, child, when I tell you the care is not there, it actually will tickle me now. It makes me laugh to see that I can pop on my platform and simply say hi. And I bet you that if I do a 3-second video just saying, hi, girl, I'm gonna do a stream. I'm gonna do a tweet. Kelly, breathe today. I'm gonna lose my mind. I now find it hilarious that I affect people that deeply emotionally. That's insane, because when I film my videos, I close everything out, and I've been in the process of pre-recording, so you don't even know when I filmed this, right? Or what day it was that I filmed this, right? You don't know what it is that I have going on in my day, and you chose to listen to words of mine. You chose to watch a video of mine or observe content of mine and do an entire stream and do an entire community tab and do an entire Twitter and do an entire, I mean, you might even be going on your Instagram. You are giving me a lot of your emotional energy, and you are allowing me to live in your head rent-free when you claim to dislike me so much or to be so discontent with me. You are making me overly important. And the funny part to me is you are making me way more important than you are to me. Think about that. I need you to just sit on it. I need you to think. And I need to ask you, why are you not able to value yourself more to where you cannot stop giving me your energy? Because that's what I say to myself every single day. That people, things, places don't deserve my energy. You see the beauty in being able to control your emotions and reactions. And that's it. Now, I've honestly enjoyed, like I've enjoyed, like I love this. Like I love just doing my videos the way I have been. I've just been loving it. I can't wait until it can just all flow and everything. And it's been amazing, honestly. I've had fun posting this content. I really do love it. And I am here to not only share the things that I've learned, but I hope that there are people in my audience who are interested in learning and growing as well. And some of this stuff is real food for thought. And I'm not the only one making this style of content, right? Like there's other creators, like even if I'm not your flavor, like there's other people who, you know, deliver the message, and, you know, they might do it better than me. They might be, you know, more hardcore than me. And, you know, I just use, you know, Life of a Free Spirit, my life, as an example of the things I've learned, and go from there, as I always have. And that is one thing that will always remain consistent on this channel. So please think about all of that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.